U.S. President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump squared off in Atlanta in the first debate of the 2024 presidential campaign.
And it was this historic debate pitting a current president against a former president. Let's talk more about this live this morning. CTV National's Scott Hurst is here. Break down the biggest moments from the contest. There were several. There was a lot of anticipation here, but I'm not sure, Scott, that this swayed too many votes.
Well, Nick and Jen, good morning. It was a 90-minute debate, but for Democrat insiders, it must have felt like a lifetime. Now, listen, there's really only 3+ years that separate these two candidates in age, but it really seemed like there was a much wider gap. It was much more extreme with the performance that Joe Biden put in last night. He was shaky at times, his voice raspy, sometimes stumbling over his words, and other times not coherent at all. And Donald Trump capitalized, and when he was asked specific questions, he would then pivot and attack his opponent. Now, the current president, in the aftermath, there's already a lot of questions over Joe Biden even being a viable candidate for the November ticket. His performance, no doubt, pouring much more gasoline on the question of his age and ability for another 4 more years. Here's one moment that many say was quite cringeworthy for Joe Biden.
We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our health care system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Now, bottom line, Nick and Jen, performance matters a lot more often than substance in these televised debates. And moments like that and many others had a lot of people throughout these 90 minutes questioning Joe Biden's ability, particularly for a president that's asking for another 4 years at the helm. Now, as I said a little bit, pivoting to Donald Trump here, when he was asked very specific questions, he would often then pivot right away, not answer those questions. And then in what we've gotten used to a lot with his rallies, there is also then a lot of fact checking in the aftermath. But when we talk about strictly performance, the big takeaway from a lot of this is Joe Biden's ability or inability, particularly a lot of people questioning that for his the next 4 years if Americans want to vote him back into the White House, guys.
Yeah, optics are certainly important, especially in presidential debates that are televised like this one. And the Democratic Party really in a worrisome position right now. CTV National Scott Hurst joining us live. Thank you.